William's truck coughed into the driveway at 11 p.m., headlights slicing through the dark before dying. The engine ticked as it cooled. He sat behind the wheel, gripping it, gathering strength to move. The house waited. Windows dark except for the kitchen light Emma always left burning. She was 12, too young to be the last one awake, waiting to make sure he got home safe. He dragged himself to the front door. His boots felt like they weighed 20 pounds each. Inside, the silence pressed against his ears after 10 hours of factory noise. The living room looked frozen in time toys scattered where the boys had played hours ago. A book Emma had been reading face down on the arm of the couch. The kitchen hurt most. 3 dinner plates sat on the table, food long cold. Mac and cheese, green beans, the kind of simple meal Emma knew how to make. 3 glasses of milk, filmed over. 3 chairs pushed back at angles, evidence of children who'd eaten and cleared out to homework and bedtime. His chair remained pulled out, waiting, always waiting. A note rested against the salt shaker in Emma's careful handwriting. Leftovers in fridge. Love you, Dad. William opened the refrigerator. A covered plate sat on the top shelf. He pulled it out, peeled back the foil, stared at the congealed pasta. He should heat it. He should sit down. He should do a lot of things. Instead, he ate it cold, standing at the counter, fork to mouth, chewing without tasting. He washed the single dish, dried it, put it away. The ritual kept him from thinking. Upstairs. He checked on each child. Emma first, sprawled across her bed with homework still scattered on her desk. He touched her forehead gently, moved a strand of hair from her face. I'm sorry, sweetheart, he whispered. Tommy next, curled up with a stuffed dog he pretended not to sleep with anymore. 9 years old and already trying to be tough. William adjusted the blanket, kissed his temple. Sam's room last. The 6-year-old slept the way he did everything completely, trustingly. One arm flung over his head, mouth open, breathing deep. William knelt beside the bed, just watching. Sam still looked like a baby when he slept. I'm doing this for you, William said to the sleeping child. All of this? But the words felt hollow in the dark room. He retreated to his own bedroom, set his alarm for 5 a.m., 7 hours from now. He'd get maybe 6 hours of sleep if he was lucky. He pulled off his work boots without unlacing them, lay down on top of the covers still in his jeans and t-shirt, on the nightstand. A photo smiled at him, taken 2 years ago, before everything fell apart. Him and 3 kids at the county fair, all of them laughing at something Tommy had said. Emma's arm around Sam, him holding them close. They looked like a family. He didn't look like that anymore. None of them did. William turned the photo face down and closed his eyes. Tomorrow would be exactly like today, and the day after that, and the day after that. At least the bills were paid. The alarm screamed at 5:30. William silenced it, rose in the pre-dawn dark. He moved through the morning routine like a ghost shower. Coffee. Toast he didn't taste. He scribbled a note for Emma, have a good day, love, Dad, before leaving. He climbed the stairs one more time. Emma's door first. He cracked it open, whispered, I love you. She didn't stir. Tommy next. Same ritual. Then Sam, whose small face looked peaceful in the dim light filtering through the window. William kissed each forehead. It was all he could give them. His truck started rough in the cool May morning. He pulled out as the first hint of gray touched the eastern sky. Behind him, the house sat dark and still. His children would wake in an hour, get themselves ready for school, eat cereal Emma would pour. She was so good at it, too good. When had his 12-year-old daughter become so capable at running a household? The factory swallowed him. At 6 a.m. sharp, punch card, hard hat, safety glasses, 10 hours stretched ahead. Then he'd clock out and go straight to the second job stocking shelves at the grocery store until midnight. At home. Morning light crept across the kitchen floor. Emma woke first. Always did. She pulled on jeans and a sweatshirt, padded downstairs, found Dad's note on the counter. She traced the words with one finger before folding it carefully and putting it in the drawer with all the others. She'd started saving them 6 months ago. Proof he existed, that he still thought about them even when he wasn't there. Tommy stumbled down next, hair standing up wild. Dad gone already? Yeah. Emma pulled out the cereal boxes. Same as always. Sam appeared last, dragging his stuffed dog. His pajamas had robots on them. He climbed into his chair, looked around the kitchen like he was searching for something. When's Dad coming home? His voice was small. Emma poured milk over his cereal. Late, like always, buddy. They ate in silence for a while. The kitchen felt too big with just the three of them. Tommy crunched his cornflakes. Sam pushed Cheerios around his bowl. Emma forced herself to eat, knowing she had to set the example. Tommy got up to put his bowl in the sink. On his way back, he stopped at the calendar hanging by the refrigerator. Someone had drawn smiley faces on some days, dinosaurs on others. Sam's artwork. Tommy found a red marker in the junk drawer. He circled Sunday's date, then stood back. What are you doing? Emma asked. It's Father's Day, Sunday. He turned to face his sister. We should do something. Emma's throat tightened. She glanced at Sam, who'd perked up at Tommy's words. Do what? She asked carefully. We can't exactly take Dad anywhere. We could make breakfast, Sam suggested, eyes bright. Like pancakes. Dad loves pancakes. Emma walked to the cookie jar on the counter. It was shaped like a pig, a gift from their mom before she left, before everything changed. She lifted the lid and counted the crumpled bills and loose change inside. $17.34. Grocery money for the next week. We don't have money for special breakfast stuff, she said gently. Tommy's face fell. Sam's lower lip trembled. Then we'll make something, Tommy said, jaw setting in that stubborn way he had. We'll use what we got. We'll make cards and stuff. He doesn't need anything expensive. Emma looked at her brothers, 9 and 6, both staring at her like she had all the answers. Like she was the adult. She hated that look. But she'd seen Dad's face last week when he'd come home to find them already asleep. She'd been faking it, wanting to see him. The sadness in his eyes had broken something inside her. Okay, she heard herself say. Okay, we'll do it. But we plan smart. Tonight. After school. Operation Father's Day. Sam clapped his hands. Tommy grinned. Emma smiled back, hoping she looked more confident than she felt. William sat in his truck during lunch break. Engine off. The factory parking lot baked under the noon sun. He unwrapped the sandwich Emma had packed peanut butter and jelly, cut diagonally the way he liked. She remembered these small things. He should call her, just to say hi, to hear her voice. His phone sat heavy in his palm. He pulled up her contact, stared at the photo Emma at her 6th grade graduation last year. Smiling wide, he'd made it to that. At least, traded shifts to be there. His thumb hovered over the call button. But what would he say? Hi, honey. I'm eating lunch in a parking lot. How's your day? She had school. She didn't need him interrupting. He locked the phone and bit into the sandwich. Got plans for Father's Day? Joe from the line asked, walking past with his own lunch. William shook his head. Working. Man, that's rough. My kids are taking me fishing. That's nice. William meant it. He tried not to feel the envy twisting in his gut. Joe walked on. William finished his sandwich alone. The taste triggered something peanut butter and jelly. He remembered making them for Emma when she was Sam's age. She'd stand on a step stool beside him, wanting to help spread the jelly. He'd let her make a mess, laughing when she got more on her face than the bread. When had he stopped laughing like that? He remembered Saturday mornings, before making pancakes with all 3 kids crowding the kitchen. Emma cracking eggs, Tommy measuring flour, Sam helping by eating chocolate chips. The kitchen would be a disaster, but they'd all sit down together, drowning their pancakes in syrup, arguing about whether to watch cartoons or go to the park. His father's voice came to him then, raspy and weak, hospice bed, 3 years ago. William had taken time off to be there at the end. Son, I worked 60 hours a week for 30 years, his father had said. Oxygen tube in his nose. Gave your mother and you everything, except time, except me. William had squeezed his hand. You did your best. Dad. My best wasn't good enough. His father's eyes had been clear, urgent. Don't make my mistake. I wish I'd worked less, loved more. Do you hear me? William had nodded, promised. Of course he heard, but promises made at deathbeds were easy. Living them was harder. His phone buzzed. Text from his supervisor. Can you take Sunday evening shift double overtime? Holiday pay? Sunday. Father's Day. He should say no. He should take one day. Be home. See his kids in daylight. The bills spread across his kitchen table every month flashed through his mind. Mortgage, electric, water, car payment. Emma needed new shoes. Tommy's glasses were held together with tape. Sam's pediatrician wanted a follow-up visit. His fingers typed before his brain caught up. I'll take it. The response came quick. Great, 2 p.m. to midnight. William sent another text, this one to Emma. Working late Sunday. Won't be home till midnight. Leave dinner out. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally, okay, Dad. He stared at that message. 2 words, no complaint, no protest, just acceptance that he wouldn't be there. Again. He put the phone away and rested his forehead on the steering wheel. The sun beat down on the metal roof, turning the truck into an oven. Sweat dripped down his back. I'm doing this for them, he said out loud. But even to his own ears, it sounded like a lie. At home. Emma stared at her phone. Her hands shook slightly. Tommy looked up from his homework. What's wrong? Dad's working Sunday until midnight. Sam's face crumpled. But it's Father's Day. Emma's jaw tightened. She set the phone down carefully like it might explode. Inside her chest, something hardened into determination. Then we do it Sunday morning, she said. Before he goes to work, we surprise him early. Will he even be awake? Tommy asked. We'll make him awake. Emma pulled out a notebook, clicked her pen. We get one shot at this. We make it count. Tommy nodded slowly. What do we need by breakfast stuff from the pantry, cards, and something special? Emma chewed her lip, thinking. Something that shows him we just want him. Not things, just him. Sam climbed into her lap. Something he didn't do much anymore. I miss Daddy. Emma wrapped her arms around her baby brother. I know, buddy. Me too. That's why we're going to remind him he's still got us, and we've still got him. Over Sam's head, her eyes met Tommy's. A silent pact passed between them. They were going to save their father, even if he didn't know he needed saving, that evening. After dinner, spaghetti Emma made from a box, the 3 children gathered in Emma's room. She'd spread a beach towel on the floor, and they sat in a circle like they were planning a heist. Inventory first, Emma said, opening her notebook. What do we have in the pantry? Tommy counted on his fingers. Eggs, flour, sugar, that pancake mix from Christmas, syrup, butter in the fridge. Perfect. We can make pancakes. Emma wrote it down. What about fruit, something to make it special? No fruit. Tommy said, I checked. Sam raised his hand like he was in school. Mr. Hendricks at the corner store has strawberries. I saw them yesterday. The red ones. Emma bit her lip. The corner store was expensive, but strawberries would make it special. How much money do you have? She asked Tommy. He ran to his room, came back with his piggy bank, a ceramic dinosaur with a crack down its back. He upended it on the towel. Coins scattered. A few dollar bills. They counted together. $4.37. Is that enough for strawberries? Sam asked. Maybe. Emma scooped the money into a pile. Tommy, can you go tomorrow after school? On it. Tommy swept the money back into his dinosaur. What else? Cards. We make them ourselves. Emma pulled out construction paper from her desk drawer. Red, blue, yellow, green. We each make one. Write something Dad needs to hear. What if I can't spell good? Sam worried. I'll help you, Emma promised. And draw pictures. Dad loves your pictures. Sam brightened. I'll draw us together. The whole family. Emma's chest squeezed. That's perfect. Sam. Tommy grabbed a piece of blue paper. I'm going to write a poem, like we learned in English class. And I'm making something else. Emma had been thinking about this all day. A coupon book. Like Mom used to make for us at Christmas. What's that? Sam asked. Coupons Dad can use, but instead of buying stuff, they're for things we'll do together. Like good for one family dinner, or good for helping with yard work, or good for one movie night. Tommy's eyes widened. That's genius. He can use them to get time with us. Exactly. Emma pulled out more paper, started folding it into a little booklet. We're giving him what he needs most. Us. They worked in concentrated silence. Tommy labored over his poem, erasing and rewriting. Sam drew with fierce dedication, tongue poking out the corner of his mouth. Emma cut and folded, writing carefully on each coupon. An hour passed. 2. Emma glanced at the clock, 8:30. Dad wouldn't be home for hours yet. We should practice, Tommy said suddenly, making the breakfast, so we don't mess it up. Can't waste the ingredients, Emma said. We only get one shot. Then we practice the plan. Who does what? Emma nodded. That made sense. Okay. Sunday morning. We set alarms for 5:30. That gives us time before Dad wakes up at 6. I'll help with pancakes, Tommy volunteered. I'll set the table, Sam said, and put the cards out. I'll make the pancakes. Tommy cracks eggs and measures. Sam. You're in charge of the tray. We put everything on it: pancakes, syrup, the cards, the coupons. Then we carry it to Dad's room together. What do we sing? Sam asked. Happy Father's Day, to the tune of Happy Birthday. They practiced softly, trying not to giggle. Their voices harmonized terribly and perfectly at the same time. At 9, Emma sent her brothers to bed. Hide your cards. Don't let Dad see them. After they left, she sat on her floor with her coupon book. She'd made 10 coupons so far. Each one felt important, necessary. Good for one family dinner together. Good for teaching me to drive someday. Good for one camping trip. Good for just talking. That last one made her throat tight. When was the last time she and Dad had just talked? Really talked. About things that mattered. She added one more coupon. The most important. Good for being there. She tucked the book under her mattress. Tomorrow. Tommy would get the strawberries. Sunday morning. They'd make breakfast. And somehow, maybe, they'd get their dad back. Downstairs. The front door opened at 11:15. Emma heard Dad's boots. Heavy and slow. Heard him check the kitchen, reheat something in the microwave. Heard him climb the stairs. Pause outside her door. She closed her eyes, evened her breathing, pretended to sleep, The door cracked open. Light from the hallway fell across her bed. I love you, Emma. Dad's whisper barely reached her. I'm so sorry. The door closed. His footsteps moved on to the boys' rooms. Emma opened her eyes in the dark. A single tear slid sideways into her pillow. Sunday couldn't come fast enough. Thursday after school. Tommy made his mission to the corner store. He clutched the dinosaur piggy bank against his chest, walking the 4 blocks with purpose. Mr. Hendricks looked up when the bell jangled. Tommy Burke, what brings you in today? Strawberries, please. Tommy set the dinosaur on the counter. How much for a small container? Mr. Hendricks pointed to the refrigerated case. $3.99. Tommy's face fell. He had $4.37. That left only 38 cents. Not enough for anything else they might need, but Dad loved strawberries. Tommy remembered him buying them in summer, sharing them with all 3 kids on the porch, laughing when Sam got juice all over his shirt. I'll take them. Mr. Hendricks rang it up. Tommy carefully counted out the bills and coins. Mr. Hendricks gave him back 38 cents in change. Special occasion, the old man asked, bagging the strawberries gently. Father's Day. We're making Dad breakfast. Something softened in Mr. Hendricks's weathered face. That's real nice. Son, your dad's lucky to have you kids. Tommy wasn't sure about that, but he smiled anyway. Thank you, sir. He walked home carefully, cradling the strawberries like precious cargo. The container was clear plastic, he could see them. Perfect and red and beautiful. Dad would love them. At home, Emma was helping Sam with his card. They sat at the kitchen table, Sam's small hand gripping a crayon. What are you drawing? Tommy asked, setting the strawberries reverently in the fridge. Our family, Sam said. He held up the paper. 4 stick figures stood in front of a house. Dad was the tallest, then Emma, then Tommy, then Sam. They were all holding hands. Above them, Sam had drawn a huge yellow sun and the words, I love Dad, in crooked letters. Tommy's throat felt funny. That's really good. Sam? Emma helped with the letters. You did the important part, Emma assured him. Dad's gonna love it. That night, around 2 a.m., Sam woke up crying. A nightmare, something about being alone in the dark, calling for Dad. Nobody coming. Emma heard him first. She grabbed her bathrobe and headed for his room. But Dad's door opened before she got there. William emerged, hair sticking up, in his t-shirt and boxers. He looked exhausted even in sleep. But he went straight to Sam's room, and Emma followed quietly. Watching from the doorway, William sat on the edge of Sam's bed. Hey, buddy. Bad dream. Sam launched himself into his father's arms, sobbing. You left. You were gone, and you weren't coming back. William's face crumpled. He pulled Sam close, rocking him. I'm here. I'm right here. But you're always gone. Sam hiccuped. You leave before I wake up and come home when I'm sleeping. It's like you disappeared. Like Mommy. The words hit William like a punch. Emma saw him flinch. I'm not gone. Sam, I'm working. I'm trying to take care of you. I don't want you to work. I want you to be here. Sam's voice was muffled against William's shoulder. William held him tighter. He started humming, then singing softly. A lullaby he hadn't sung in months, maybe years. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Sam's sobs quieted. William kept singing, rocking gently. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Emma's eyes burned. She backed away before Dad could see her, but she heard Sam's sleepy voice. I miss you, Daddy. I miss you too. Dad's voice cracked. I miss you so much. Emma made it back to her room, closed the door silently. She sat on her bed in the dark, hugging her knees. Later, she heard Dad pass her door again, heard him go downstairs. After a few minutes, curiosity pulled her from bed. She crept to the staircase, peered down. Dad sat at the kitchen table, head in his hands. The refrigerator hummed. The clock ticked. He wasn't moving, just sitting there in the dark. Finally, he lifted his head, looked around the kitchen. Emma followed his gaze and saw what he was seeing: Sam's artwork covering the fridge, held up by alphabet magnets. Every single picture featured Dad, sometimes all of them together, sometimes just Dad and one kid, but in every picture from the last few months, Dad was drawn smaller, farther away. In the most recent one, Dad was barely a stick figure in the corner, while the three kids stood together in the center. Dad stood, walked to the fridge. He touched one of Sam's pictures, the family holding hands. His finger traced the stick figure labeled Dad. "What have I done?" he whispered. Emma held her breath. Dad pulled out his phone, typed something. Then he just stood there, staring at the refrigerator, at the evidence of his children's love and his own absence. After a long moment, he went back upstairs. Emma heard his door close. She waited 5 minutes, then crept to the kitchen. Dad's phone had been on the table. He'd left it there. The screen was dark, but when she tapped it, a text message showed. To his supervisor. "I'll take Sunday shift, but it's my last double. Need to talk about new schedule Monday." This can't keep going. Emma's heart hammered. She set the phone down exactly where she'd found it, back in her room. She pulled out the coupon book, looked at what she'd written. Good for being there. Maybe Dad was already trying to come back. Maybe their breakfast would meet him halfway. Friday morning started normal. William left at 5:30 as always. Emma got her brothers up, made breakfast. Everything felt ordinary, until the school called at 10:15. Emma was in math class when the office aide appeared at the door, whispered to the teacher. Mrs. Chen looked at Emma. "You need to go to the office. Your brother's sick." Emma's stomach dropped. She grabbed her backpack, ran, in the office. The nurse had Sam on the couch. His face was flushed, eyes glassy. "He's running a fever. 102. Someone needs to take him home. I'll call my dad." Emma's hands shook as she pulled out her phone. The call rang 4 times. 5. Voicemail. She tried again. Same result. He was on the factory floor. He couldn't answer. Emma. The nurse looked concerned. "Is there another adult?" "No. No other adult. Just her." "I can take him home," Emma heard herself say. "I'm 12. I can handle it." The nurse hesitated. "I really should speak to a parent. My dad's at work. He can't leave or he loses the shift. Please." "I know what to do. I've done it before." That wasn't exactly true, but what choice did they have finally? The nurse nodded. "Take him straight home. Keep him hydrated. Call if the fever gets worse." Emma signed Sam out, got them both excused. Tommy was in class somewhere, didn't even know. She held Sam's hand and walked the 6 blocks home, her baby brother leaning heavily against her side. At home. She settled Sam on the couch with a blanket, got him water, children's Tylenol from the bathroom cabinet, a damp washcloth for his forehead. "I don't feel good," Sam whimpered. "I know, buddy. The medicine will help." Emma tried to sound confident, like she knew what she was doing. She heated up soup chicken noodle from a can. Sam ate a few spoonfuls before pushing it away. His fever made him shivery even though the house was warm. Emma sat with him, one hand on his forehead, with her free hand. She tried calling Dad again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. She texted, "Sam's sick. Picked him up from school. We're home. He's okay." Don't worry. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Finally. Is he okay? Do I need to come home? Emma stared at the question. Did he need to come home? Yes. Of course yes, but if he left now, he'd lose the shift, lose the money. She'd heard him on the phone with the mortgage company last week, negotiating a late payment. She typed, "We're okay. I got him." The response took a minute. "Thank you, sweetheart. I'm sorry." Emma set the phone down. She was 12 years old, caring for her sick 6-year-old brother, and her father was apologizing via text message. Tommy came home at 3, stopped short when he saw them. What happened? Sam's sick. Fever. Tommy dropped his backpack. Immediately went to check on Sam. "Hey, little man, you okay?" Sam nodded weakly. Tommy went to the kitchen, came back looking stricken. He held up the container of strawberries. They'd started to go soft, developing dark spots. They'd only been in the fridge 1 day. "They're spoiling," he said, voice breaking. "I used all our money and they're ruined." Emma looked at the strawberries, at Tommy's devastated face, at Sam shivering on the couch. The weight of it all pressed down on her shoulders. "It's okay," she said automatically. "We'll figure something out." But Tommy's eyes were wet. "I wanted everything to be perfect. For Dad. And now? We still have pancakes. We still have cards. We don't need strawberries. But Dad loves them. Dad loves us more." Emma surprised herself with the fierceness in her voice. "We're giving him us. Tommy. That's what matters." Tommy wiped his eyes roughly. "Yeah. Okay." He sat down next to Sam, put his arm around him. Emma made more soup. The afternoon stretched into evening, Sam dozing fitfully, Tommy doing homework with one eye on his brother, Emma checking Sam's temperature every hour. At 6 p.m., she started dinner. Frozen pizza. Easy. Set 3 plates. 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., at 9:30. Tommy yawned. "I should get Sam to bed." "I'll do it." Emma scooped Sam up. He was getting too big for this. But she managed. Carried him upstairs, tucked him in. His fever had broken a little down to 99. He'd be okay. Back downstairs. Tommy had fallen asleep on the couch, homework scattered around him. Emma covered him with a blanket, turned off most of the lights, sat in the armchair, determined to wait for Dad. She must have dozed, because she woke to the sound of the front door opening. The clock read 11:15. Dad came in, saw her immediately. "Emma, what are you still doing up?" "Waiting for you." Her voice came out smaller than she intended. "To tell you Sam's okay. Fever's almost gone." William crossed to her in 3 strides, knelt beside the chair. "You should be asleep. You shouldn't have had to—" He stopped, looking at her face, really looking. Emma tried to hold it together, but she was 12, and she'd been strong all day, and suddenly her father was looking at her like he actually saw her. "I'm tired." "Dad," she whispered. "I'm really tired." "Oh, Emma." He pulled her into a hug. "I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have to do this. You're just a kid. I handled it." But even as she said it, she sagged against him. "I know you did, but you shouldn't have to." He held her, and Emma realized how long it had been since she'd been held. Really held? After a moment, he pulled back. "Go to bed. Sweetheart, I've got this now. Sam's okay. The fever's breaking. I'll check on him. Go on." Emma stood, swaying with exhaustion. She made it halfway up the stairs before turning back. Dad was looking at the kitchen table, at the strawberries Tommy had left out, now definitely too soft to use. at Tommy asleep on the couch, at the 3 dinner plates, cold and untouched. His face looked like someone had reached into his chest and squeezed. Emma continued upstairs. Behind her, she heard her father's quiet, broken breath. Something had to change. Sunday morning couldn't come soon enough. Friday night bled into Saturday. William called in sick to the evening shift, first time in 2 years. His supervisor was annoyed, but William couldn't bring himself to care. He sat in his truck outside the house for 20 minutes at midnight, unable to go in. The supervisor had called back with that offer again, permanent double shifts. Significant raise. Almost never home. William's thumb hovered over the callback button. His phone lit up with a photo notification, the screensaver changing automatically. This month's picture, Sam's 6th birthday. 4 months ago. William had made it home for the party. Barely. He'd arrived as they were cutting the cake, still in his factory uniform. Sam's face when he walked in pure joy, like his greatest wish had come true. Just seeing his dad on his birthday. William locked the phone, put it in his pocket, got out of the truck. Inside, the house was quiet. He went straight to Sam's room. His youngest was sleeping peacefully, breathing even, fever gone. Emma had taken good care of him. Emma, 12 years old, playing parent because he couldn't be bothered to be one. He checked on Tommy next. The 9-year-old was tangled in his sheets, one arm hanging off the bed. A notebook lay open on the floor, homework, but also something else. William picked it up carefully. A poem. In Tommy's careful handwriting, "My dad works hard every day to give us things and earn his pay. But what? I want cost nothing much, just time with him and his warm touch." William had to set the notebook down. His hands were shaking. Emma's room last. His daughter slept curled on her side, still in her clothes from taking care of Sam. So exhausted she hadn't even changed. He pulled a blanket over her gently. Noticed something sticking out from under her mattress, corner of construction paper. He shouldn't look. It was private. But his hand moved anyway, pulling it out just enough to see a handmade booklet. Dad's coupons written on the cover in Emma's neat print. He opened it carefully. Each page was a coupon, carefully cut and decorated. Good for one family dinner together. Good for one camping trip. Good for teaching me to drive someday. Good for just talking. And the last one gutted him. Good for being there. William sat on the floor beside Emma's bed, holding the coupon book, his vision blurred. His children weren't asking for things. They were asking for him, just him. And he kept choosing the factory, kept choosing overtime, kept choosing everything except what they actually needed. He carefully replaced the booklet, left Emma's room, downstairs. He walked through the house, seeing it with new eyes. Sam's drawings all over the fridge, each one featuring Dad smaller and farther away. The family photos on the mantel, gathering dust. The dining room table where nobody ate together anymore. The living room where nobody watched movies or played games. He'd turned their home into a place to sleep between shifts. Nothing more. His father's voice came back to him, clear as if the old man stood beside him. "I wish I'd worked less, loved more." William had promised not to make that mistake, but here he was, repeating it perfectly. He pulled out his phone, typed carefully, "Can't do permanent doubles. Need new schedule. We'll discuss Monday. This ends now." He sent it before he could reconsider. Then he opened his photo gallery, scrolled through. Birthdays he'd missed. School plays he'd been too tired to attend. Soccer games where Emma had searched the bleachers for his face and found it empty. Halloween where he'd left for work before they went trick-or-treating. The last good photo was from 2 years ago, before their mother left, before everything fell apart, before he'd decided that money could replace presents. He'd been so wrong. William set his phone on the coffee table. Noticed something on the floor, the corner store bag with the spoiled strawberries Tommy had been so excited about. He pulled out the container, saw them turning to mush, and understood. His 9-year-old had spent his saved money trying to make Father's Day special, while William planned to work right through it. He sat on the couch where Tommy had fallen asleep earlier, put his head in his hands. The house was silent except for the refrigerator's hum and the old clock ticking on the wall. In the kitchen, evidence of his children's secret plan was everywhere once he looked for it. Art supplies tucked in drawers. The pantry reorganized, someone had pushed the pancake mix to the front. The calendar with Sunday circled in red marker. They were planning something. For him, even though he didn't deserve it. William walked to the refrigerator, looked at Sam's latest drawing again. 4 stick figures holding hands. "I love Dad." He traced the letters with one finger. When had Sam drawn this? Probably this week. While William was at the factory, earning money to buy things nobody actually wanted. He thought about the offer he'd just turned down. The permanent double shifts, more money. Yes. But for what? So his kids could draw him even smaller. So Emma could raise her brothers alone. So he could become a ghost in his own home. No more. He didn't know what Sunday would bring. Didn't know if his children still loved him enough to forgive him for 2 years of choosing wrong. Didn't know if he could fix this, but he knew he had to try. William pulled the strawberries from the bag, threw them away, washed the container, left it in the dish rack. Then he did something he hadn't done in months. He set his alarm for 7 a.m. late by his standards, slept in his own bed instead of on top of the covers, took off his work clothes. When he finally closed his eyes, he whispered into the darkness, "I'm coming home. Really home." He didn't know his children heard him. 3 rooms away, awake and hoping. Sunday morning was 12 hours away. Emma's alarm screamed at 5:30 Sunday morning. She silenced it instantly. Heart pounding. Father's Day. She crept to Tommy's room, shook him gently. "It's time." Tommy sat up, hair wild, eyes unfocused. Then he remembered. "The breakfast. Shh, don't wake Dad yet." They got Sam next. The 6-year-old yawned hugely but followed them downstairs without complaint. In the kitchen, they moved like a practiced team. Emma pulled out the pancake mix. Eggs. Milk. Tommy got the mixing bowl. Sam retrieved the syrup from the pantry, moving carefully so the bottle wouldn't drop. "Remember," Emma whispered, "quiet. We only get 1 shot." She measured ingredients while Tommy cracked eggs. Only one broke messily, but they cleaned it up fast. The batter came together thick and golden. Emma's hands shook slightly as she heated the griddle. "What about the strawberries?" Sam asked softly. Tommy's face fell. "They went bad. I'm sorry." "It's okay." Emma poured the first pancake. It sizzled perfectly. "We have something better. We have us." While the pancakes cooked, Tommy set up the tray, the wooden one Mom used to use for breakfast, in bed. He found a clean dish towel, spread it like a tablecloth. Sam went to the yard, came back with a single wildflower. Yellow, cheerful. He put it in a juice glass with water. The pancakes stacked up golden and perfect. Emma drizzled honey over them since they had no fruit. It looked beautiful anyway. "Cards," Tommy reminded. They retrieved their handmade cards from hiding spots. Sam's with the family holding hands. Tommy's with his poem. Emma's with the coupon book tucked inside. At 6:15. Everything was ready. The pancakes steamed on the tray. The wildflower stood bright in its glass. 3 cards waited, each one holding a piece of their hearts. "Together," Emma said. "We go in together." They climbed the stairs in a line. Sam first, carrying the flower. Tommy next, holding the cards. Emma last, carefully balancing the breakfast tray. Outside Dad's door. They looked at each other. Emma mouthed, 1, 2, 3. They pushed the door open. Dad was sitting up in bed, already awake. His eyes widened as they entered. "Happy Father's Day," They sang, off-key and loud. Happy Father's Day to you. William's face did something complicated: shock, then joy, then something that looked like breaking. His eyes went bright with tears. Sam rushed forward, thrust the flower at him. We made you breakfast. Daddy. Tommy presented the cards like an offering. We each made you something. Emma set the tray carefully on the bed. It's not fancy, just pancakes and honey, but we made it together. William stared at the tray, at the perfectly stacked pancakes, at the wildflower, at his 3 children crowding around his bed, faces hopeful and nervous. His voice cracked. He tried again. You did this for me. We wanted to surprise you. Emma said, before you left for work. Something flickered across his face. I'm not going to work today. 3 pairs of eyes widened. You're not? Tommy breathed. No, I called yesterday. Told them I needed the day with my family. William picked up the first card, Sam's, opened it carefully. The stick figure family smiled up at him. I love Dad, in crooked letters. William's thumb traced over the words. Sam, this is beautiful. We're all together, Sam explained, climbing onto the bed. See, you're holding my hand. I see that. William's voice was thick. He pulled Sam close, kissed the top of his head. Tommy's card next. William opened it, read the poem silently. Emma watched his face change, soften, break. Tommy. He looked at his 9-year-old son. This is perfect. Do you like it? Tommy asked anxiously. I love it. William set it aside carefully, reverently. I love it so much. Emma's card was last. Bigger, folded funny. William opened it to find the coupon book nested inside. He pulled it out, stared at the cover. What's this? Coupons, Emma explained. Her voice barely steady, but not for buying things. For time with us. You can use them whenever you want. William opened the booklet, read each coupon slowly. Good for one family dinner together. Good for teaching me to drive someday. Good for one camping trip. Good for just talking. He got to the last one. Good for being there. His hand shook. A tear dripped onto the paper. Emma. He looked up at her, face raw with emotion. How did you know? Know what? That this is what I needed. That this is... His voice broke completely. That this is everything. Emma's own eyes burned. We don't need presents, Dad. We just need you. William made a sound between a laugh and a sob. He set the coupon book aside like it was made of glass, then reached for all 3 of them. They piled onto the bed, into his arms. He held them so tight Emma could barely breathe. And she didn't care. I'm so sorry, he whispered into their hair. I'm so sorry I've been gone. I thought providing was loving, but I've been so wrong. You're here now, Tommy said against his shoulder. I'm here now. William agreed. And I'm not leaving again. Not like that. Never like that. They sat like that for a long moment, tangled together. The breakfast getting cold and nobody caring. Finally, Sam pulled back. Can we eat now? I helped make the pancakes. William laughed. Watery, but real. Absolutely, let's eat. They demolished the pancakes right there on the bed, syrup dripping on the sheets, honey sticky on their fingers. It was messy and chaotic and perfect. William took a bite, closed his eyes. Best pancakes I've ever had. Really? Sam beamed. Really? Because you made them for me. Because we're together. He looked at each of his children. I need to tell you something. They waited. Suddenly serious. I called my supervisor yesterday, asked for a new schedule. Regular hours. No more double shifts. It means less money. But it means I'll be home for dinner. For bedtime. For all the things I've been missing. Emma's breath caught. Really? Really? Starting Monday, I might not be able to buy you as many things, but I can give you what you really need. Me. If you'll have me, of course we'll have you, Tommy said fiercely. You're our dad. We missed you so much, Emma admitted, tears finally spilling over. I missed you too. Every single day. William pulled them close again. No more. From now on. We're a family. A real family. Together. Sam snuggled against him. This is the best Father's Day ever. William kissed the top of his head. For me too, buddy. For me too. Outside, the sun rose higher. Sunday morning light poured through the window. The breakfast tray sat empty between them. The cards were spread across the blanket. And for the first time in 2 years, the Burke family was together. Really together. Not perfect. Not fixed completely, but healing. And that was enough. Monday morning, William walked into his supervisor's office at 7 a.m. sharp. He hadn't slept much, rehearsing this conversation in his mind. Burke. The supervisor, a graying man named Patterson, gestured to a chair. You said you needed to talk about your schedule. Yes, sir. William sat, hands steady. I can't do double shifts anymore. I need regular hours, 8 to 5, 5 days a week. Patterson leaned back. That's a significant pay cut. I know. You've got 3 kids to support. Mortgage, bills. I know that too. William met his eyes. But my kids don't need more money. They need their father, and I'm choosing them. Something shifted in Patterson's face. He was quiet for a moment, studying William. Then he nodded slowly. My grandson's 10. I barely know him. Work too much. Patterson pulled up a schedule on his computer. Day shift, 40 hours a week. I can make it work. Relief flooded through William. Thank you. Don't thank me. You're making the right choice. I wish I'd made it 30 years ago. Patterson printed the new schedule, handed it over. See you tomorrow, 8 a.m. William walked out feeling lighter than he had in years. Less money in his paycheck. Yes. But he'd be home by 5:30. Home for dinner. Home for homework help and bedtime stories and just being there. The first week was an adjustment. They had to budget more carefully. Skip some extras. But Tuesday evening, William walked through the door at 5:45 to find 3 faces waiting for him. Dad. Sam launched himself across the room. William caught him, swung him up. Hey, buddy. You're home early, Emma said from the kitchen. She was stirring something on the stove, but her smile was wide and real. This is my new normal. William sat Sam down, went to see what she was making. Need help? You cook now. Tommy appeared from the living room, grinning. I'm going to learn. William rolled up his sleeves. Emma, teach me. That first dinner was chaos. William burned the chicken slightly. Tommy spilled his milk. Sam got spaghetti sauce on his shirt. But they ate together. All 4 of them at the table. Talking and laughing and just being a family. William redeemed his first coupon that Friday. Good for 1 movie night. They made popcorn, piled on the couch, watched an animated movie Sam picked. William fell asleep halfway through with Sam on one side and Tommy on the other. Emma curled up in the armchair nearby. He woke to the credits rolling. His children still close. For the first time in forever, he felt at peace. Weeks passed. The new rhythm settled. William taught Tommy to throw a baseball in the backyard, helped Emma with her math homework, read bedtime stories to Sam every single night. Small things, normal things, everything. The bills got paid. If slower, they ate simpler meals, wore clothes a little longer, but the house felt different, alive again, full of light and noise and love. 2 months after Father's Day, William's mother came to visit. She stood in the doorway, shocked. "You look different," she said. "I am different." William hugged her. "Come in. The kids can't wait to see you." That evening, after the kids went to bed, his mother found him in the kitchen. "What changed?" William showed her the coupon book. Now worn at the edges from use, half the coupons redeemed, carefully marked with dates. Good for one family dinner used every night. Good for teaching me to fish, crossed off from last weekend's trip to the lake. They made me this for Father's Day. Homemade cards and breakfast in bed and this coupon book. They didn't ask for things. They asked for me. His mother's eyes filled. "And you listened." "Best decision I ever made." William looked at the refrigerator, now covered in recent drawings. In every one, Dad was front and center, normal size, holding hands with his kids. "Your father would be proud," his mother said softly. "I hope so." I finally understood what he tried to tell me. On the mantel, a new photo had joined the old ones. Father's Day morning, all 4 of them on William's bed, breakfast tray between them, laughing at something Tommy said, pure joy captured in a single moment. 3 months after Father's Day, Emma came home with an invitation to a school dance. "Can you take me shopping for a dress?" she asked nervously. William checked the calendar. "Saturday work for you." Her face lit up. Really, we'll make a day of it. Maybe get ice cream after." Emma threw her arms around him. "Thanks, Dad," holding her. William realized she was almost as tall as his shoulder now. Growing up fast. He'd already missed too much. But he was here now. That's what mattered. Saturday. They went shopping. William was terrible at picking dresses, but Emma didn't care. They laughed at his attempts, finally found one she loved. Got ice cream on the way home. "Dad," Emma said as they drove, "I'm really glad you changed your schedule." "Me too, sweetheart. I know it means less money, but I don't care about that stuff. I just wanted my dad back." William's throat tightened. "You've got him. Every day. I promise." That night, tucking Sam into bed, his youngest looked up at him with serious eyes. "Dad, are you going to keep being home every single day, buddy?" "Why, I just wanted to make sure you weren't going to disappear again." William sat on the edge of the bed, pulled Sam into his lap even though he was getting too big for it. "I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here, and I'm staying right here. Promise. Promise." Sam settled back under the covers. Satisfied, William sang the lullaby, watched him drift off. Sat there a moment longer, just watching his son sleep peacefully. In the hallway, he found the Father's Day card still taped to his bedroom door, the one with the stick figures holding hands. "I love Dad." He touched it gently. That simple card had changed everything, had shown him what he'd been too blind to see. His children didn't need his money. They needed his presence, his time, his love made visible through showing up. And he'd finally learned that lesson. 6 months after Father's Day, the Burkes started a new tradition. Every Sunday morning, they made breakfast together. Pancakes. Always. Sometimes with fruit, sometimes plain. Always messy, always perfect. And every time, William looked at his 3 children crowding the kitchen, arguing about whose turn it was to flip, getting batter everywhere. And he thought about that first Father's Day breakfast, the one that saved him, the one that brought him home. Later, Emma would tell the story to her own children, how 3 kids with almost no money and a lot of love surprised their father with homemade breakfast and handmade cards, how it changed everything. How it taught them all that love isn't measured in dollars earned but in moments lived. How the best gifts can't be bought in stores. William stood at the window, watching Tommy and Sam play catch in the yard. Emma sat at the table doing homework. Dinner simmered on the stove. His bank account was smaller. His house was modest. His car was old, but his life was full. And he was, finally, truly rich. The empty chair at the dinner table had been filled. The dark house glowed with light. The ghost who'd haunted his own home had come back to life. All because 3 children chose love, chose creativity, chose to fight for their father even when he didn't know he needed saving. William smiled, turned from the window. "Dinner in 20 minutes, he called. 3 voices answered. "Okay, Dad." He'd never get tired of hearing that, of being there to hear it. The homemade Father's Day had become their favorite memory, retold and embellished and treasured. But more than that, it had become their new beginning. And that was worth more than all the overtime in the world.